Today we will travel back in time to a deadly summer day in 378 AD, when Emperor Valens led the best army of the Eastern Roman Empire and never returned. A seemingly easy battle against the wandering Goth barbarians turned into a bloody nightmare that shook the entire empire. This was not just a defeat, but the beginning of the end of the mighty Roman Empire that lasted for centuries. Here it is, the Battle of Adrianople, when Rome fell before the barbarians. Before entering the battle of life and death, if you love historical stories told like vivid movies, don't forget to click subscribe so we can take you to the battlefields that shook the world. Year 376. The Danube River flows quietly across the northern border of the Eastern Roman Empire. But there, suddenly, came the sound of horses' hooves, the cries of lamentation, and the flickering lights of the migrating people. They were the Goths, northern warriors carrying their families, wagons, and sheep, fleeing a new dark force from the east, the Huns. They did not come to invade. They sought asylum. King Fritigern of the Tervings sent an envoy to Emperor Valens, offering to cross the Danube and settle under Roman protection. It was a golden political opportunity to turn the barbarians into allies, but Valens, preparing for war with Persia, hastily agreed, not anticipating the tragedy that would follow. So tens of thousands of Goths crossed the river. But when they set foot in Thrace, the nightmare began. The local Roman authorities, instead of supporting the Goths, blatantly profited. Generals Lupicinus and Maximus collected food, sold it at exorbitant prices, even forced dog meat to be exchanged for children as slaves. The Goths, who were free fighters, were now forced to fight like animals. Angry and desperate, they rebelled. From asylum seekers, the Goths turned into an army. Fritigern, a shrewd leader, quickly reorganized the scattered barbarian groups into an armed alliance. They had no fortresses, no citadels, but they had wagons for camp, swift cavalry, and a single goal: revenge on Rome. Emperor Valens, receiving urgent news from Thrace, immediately returned from the Persian border. Little did he know that he was about to enter a life-and-death battle, not only for himself, but for the fate of the empire. Valens was a cautious emperor, but not a fool. Upon returning to Constantinople, he immediately assembled an army, some 15,000, 20,000 men from the elite Eastern units. He also sent word for help to his nephew, Emperor Gratian of the West. Gratian agreed and began marching from Gaul, but Valens was impatient. He was pressed by rumors that the Goths were weak and easily crushed. His advisers debated, should he wait for Gratian or attack immediately? But Valens's reputation, pride, and desire for a quick victory clouded his judgment. His decision was made to march to Adrianople, where Fritigern was encamped, August 9th, 378. The summer sun beat down on the Thracian plain. The Romans had been marching all day, tired, thirsty, without adequate advance scouting. When they approached the Gothic camp, Fritigern was waiting. Fritigern's tactics were ruthlessly astute. He sent out envoys to negotiate, sent letters, asking for peace, asked for provisions, and waited for the Gothic cavalry to return from their raids. Meanwhile, some of the Roman units rushed forward, breaking the formation. Valens could not control the whole army. Suddenly, the Gothic cavalry appeared, pouring down the slopes like a tidal wave. The Roman formation was surrounded, unable to move, with no way to retreat. Within hours, the battlefield had become a human slaughterhouse. Valens was wounded. He was taken to a house near the battlefield, but the Goths discovered him. They burned the house down, killing everyone inside. No one knows exactly how Valens died, only that he never returned. About 2/3 of the Eastern Roman army was destroyed. The senior officers were all dead. The remnants of the army fled to Constantinople. The Battle of Adrianople was not just a military defeat. It was an earthquake that cracked the foundations of Rome. The Goths failed to take Constantinople, but they didn't need to. They took root in Thrace, becoming a semi-independent power within the empire. 20 years later, their descendants would sack Rome. Adrianople was a bloody wake-up call. Rome was no longer impregnable. Failed immigration policies, complacency among the ruling class, and tactical misjudgments had pushed an entire civilization closer to the abyss. In the smoke and flames, the death knell was sounded, not just for Valens, but for the entire glorious era of Rome. Thank you for watching until the end of Adrianople. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next battles.